So hello guys, welcome to the biochemistry class. My name is Akshay. Today's video will talk about carbohydrates. What are the carbohydrates? What are different types of carbohydrates? How carbohydrates divided into different types, and we will study their different types. Okay. So the carbohydrates are synthesized during photosynthesis in plants. So every year 100 billion metric tons of CO2 and water gets converted into cellulose and other plant products. Okay, so the carbohydrates are most abundant biomolecules on the earth. Okay, so here what are carbohydrates? Okay, so carbohydrates are basically polyhydroxyaldehydes or polyhydroxyketones are substances which gives such products upon hydrolysis. Okay, that is the definition of carbohydrate. So carbohydrates are divided into three types according to their structures. First one is the monosaccharides, another is oligosaccharide, and third one is the polysaccharides. Monosaccharides have one unit of polyhydroxyaldehyde or polyhydroxyketone. Okay, they have only one unit. Okay, so simple example of monosaccharide is glucose. Okay, now oligosaccharides have 2 to 4 units of monosaccharides attached by glycosidic bond. Okay, it has 2 to 4 units of monosaccharides attached through a glycosidic bond. So in this case these 2 units of monosaccharides are attached by glycosidic bond here. Okay, so this is 2 units, they are called disaccharides. If 3 units of monosaccharides are attached with glycosidic bond, they are called as trisaccharides. Okay, so simple example of disaccharide is sucrose. Sucrose is the example of disaccharide. Sucrose what we use in our tea, table sugar. Okay, then another example type is polysaccharide. Polysaccharides have more than 20 monosaccharide units attached by glycosidic bond. Okay, so the most common example is cellulose, which is found in plants, and glycogen, which is found in animals. Okay, so that's the carbohydrates, and this is their this is how they are divided into three types according to their structures and complexity. Okay, so now we will study the first type, that is a monosaccharide. So monosaccharides are polyhydroxyaldehydes or polyhydroxyketones. These are simple structures. They have 3 to 6 carbon atoms in their structure. Okay, so the simplest of structure of monosaccharide is glyceraldehyde. So here is the structure of glyceraldehyde. Okay, this is D-glyceraldehyde. Okay, so if you look at the structure of a D-glyceraldehyde, there is one chiral center is there. So the chiral carbon or chiral center is the carbon which is attached to 4 different groups. So you can see here in the this carbon is attached to aldehyde group, hydroxyl, hydrogen, and CH2OH. So it's a chiral carbon. Okay, this is not a chiral carbon because it is not it is attached to 2 hydrogen atoms, same atoms, so it is not a chiral carbon. Okay, so as there is a chirality in the structure, there will be optical isomers. This glyceraldehyde will have another optical isomer which is L-glyceraldehyde. So if you see the structure of L-glyceraldehyde, okay, so this is the structure of L-glyceraldehyde. Okay, so you can see this is the chiral center. So difference between two isomers optical isomers or enantiomers is that there is a change in configuration around the chiral carbon. Okay, in D-glyceraldehyde the hydroxyl group is on the right side, in L-glyceraldehyde hydroxyl group is on the left side. Okay, that's the difference between D-glyceride and L-glyceride. Okay, so how we calculate the number of chiral centers? They have number of optical isomers. There is a formula which is to the power n. So n is the number of chiral carbons present in the structure. In case glyceraldehyde we have 1, so 2 to the power 1 is 2, out of which one is D-glyceraldehyde, another is L-glyceraldehyde. Okay, this is about the glyceride. What about the another monosaccharide? Like we'll take the example glucose. So the glucose will have this structure. It has 6 carbons. So it has 6 carbon, 1 2 3 4 5 6 aldehydic group. So this is D-glucose. Okay, if you see the structure of a glucose, there are 4 chiral carbons, 1 2 3 4. Okay, so how many optical isomers it will have? 2 to the power n. So 2 to the power 4 will be 16 optical isomers D-glucose has, and out of 16, 8 isomers, optical isomers are D isomers and 8 are L isomers. Okay, so how do the L isomer of glucose looks like? I will tell you here. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6, this is L glucose. So it is also 4 chiral carbons. Okay, here, but how we decide which will be D-glucose, which will be L-glucose? So the difference between D and L-glucose is there is a configuration change around a chiral carbon which is most distant from this carbonyl carbon. Okay, so which is the most distant chiral center from carbonyl carbon is this one. Okay, so this one, this carbon is most distant. So if you look at the configuration around this chiral center, it is similar to D-glyceraldehyde. So if you look at the D-glyceraldehyde chiral configuration, the OH is on the right side. In this also OH is on the right side. So that's why as it is D-glyceraldehyde, it will be D-glucose. Okay, if you look at in L-glucose, which is the most distance chiral center is this one. Okay, so if you look at the configuration of around this chiral carbon, the OH is on the left side. Okay, so it is similar, it is also found in the L-glyceraldehyde where the OH is on the left side. Okay, so as it is L-glyceraldehyde, it will be L-glucose. Okay, that's how the difference will be between D-glucose and L-glucose. Okay, so as I said, there are 8 D isomers and 8 L isomers of glucose. So D isomers are found in living system. They are present in living system. Okay. The L isomers are not found in living system. They are not found in living system. Okay, only D isomers are present in living system. So that's how the isomers are there of monosaccharides. Okay, So monosaccharides are divided into two groups, mainly aldoses and ketoses. So we will now see the different structures of early these monosaccharides. Okay, so the monosaccharides have two different groups. One is aldoses, okay, another is ketoses. So as the name suggests, the monosaccharides which have aldehyde group are aldoses, monosaccharides which have ketone group are ketoses. Okay, so in aldoses we have simple glyceraldehyde, okay, this is D glyceraldehyde. Okay, in ketoses we have dihydroxyacetone, so it has ketone group, dihydroxyacetone. Okay, so this is aldotriose, this is ketotriose, so it has 3 carbons, so it is an ketone group. So ketotriose is the aldehyde group and 3 carbons, is a aldotriose. Okay, next we have aldotetroses, which are okay, its name is T erythrose. Okay, so this is aldotetrose. Okay, and we have erythrulose also. This is D erythrulose. It has ketone and 4 carbons. Okay, now we will move to the aldopentoses now. So aldopentose we have 3 different kinds here. So aldopentose, it will also have aldehyde group and 3 hydroxyl. Okay, this is D-ribose. Okay, so it has 5 carbon atoms. Okay, and aldehyde group. This is D-ribose. Another aldopentose is okay, 1 2 3 4 5. This is D arabinose. Okay, this is D arabinose. Another one is T xylose. This is D xylose. Okay, so these are aldopentoses. Okay, aldehyde group and 5 carbons and aldehyde group, so aldopentoses. We have ketopentoses also, like ribulose, D ribulose. We have D-xylulose as well. Okay, this is D-xylulose. Okay, ketone form of xylulose, okay, ribulose. So in ketone we give name lose, like ribulose, xylulose, okay. So this is ketopentoses. These are ketopentoses, okay. Now we will see the aldohexoses, okay. So we have in aldohexoses okay. This is D-glucose, okay. Another example, this is D-mannose, right, okay. This is D-mannose. So these are all aldohexoses. And another one, okay, sorry, should be like this, sorry. Okay, this is D-galactose, okay. D-glucose, D-mannose and D-galactose, okay. And in these are all aldohexoses, right. And in case of ketosis, we have fructose, this is structure of D-fructose. This is ketohexose, okay. So it has ketone group. So these are different structures of aldoses and ketoses of monosaccharide. So if you look at the structures of glucose, mannose and galactose, they have the same structural formula. Only the difference between the glucose, mannose and galactose, there is a conformational change around one of the chiral carbon. So if you look at this structure of glucose and mannose, okay, so the overall structure is same. Only difference is in glucose this OH is on the right side in second carbon and this OH is on the left side in the mannose, okay. So just glucose can be converted into mannose just flipping this, changing the conformation around the second carbon. So OH will be on the left side, that will be mannose, okay. Such stereoisomers which have difference only around the configuration of one of the carbon are called epimers. So these two structures, glucose and mannose, are epimers of each other, epimers, okay. So mannose is the epimer of glucose. So same glucose and galactose, here there is only one structural difference is on carbon number 4, okay. So on carbon number 4 in glucose, OH is on the right side and OH in galactose is on the left side in galactose, okay. So these are also epimers, glucose So the galactose is epimer of glucose. So both are epimers. Same is in case of ribose and arabinose. In this case, there is a conformational change in arabinose. Is OH is on the left side as compared to the D-ribose, which is on the right side. So these two are epimers of each other. Okay, xylose also epimer of ribose. In this case, the OH on the third carbon is on the left side, whereas the OH on the ribose is on the right side. Okay, so the D-ribose and xylose, they are also epimer, okay, of each other. So now we will see another topic of monosaccharide. We will see, as we have seen before, that we have seen the linear structures of monosaccharides, but in aqueous system, in living system, the monosaccharides have cyclic structures. They are not in linear form, they have cyclic structures. Okay, so I will explain how they have these. Okay, so we'll start with glucose. So glucose structure. Okay, during formation of cyclic structure, this ketone group, okay, not a ketone group, this aldehyde group, carbonyl carbon, will react with this alcoholic group, okay, on carbon number 5, this carbon number 1. Okay, there is always a reaction between ketones and alcohols, so it will give structures. Explain here. So this is carbonyl carbon, okay, and attached to it this carbon and this carbon, which has H, OH, OH, H, okay, and this carbon H, OH, OH, H, and here CH2 OH. Okay, so this is carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and this is 6. Okay, so the lone pairs it has on carbon number 5, the OH group. Okay, this will attack on this carbonyl carbon. Okay, so it has carbonyl carbon H. Okay, so what we will get? So during this we will get two structures, two different types of structures. Okay, I'll explain. So first, so this is the carbon, oxygen here, this lone pairs, it will have H, OH. So this carbonyl carbon will turn into OH, then OH, OH. Okay, this is the one structure. Another structure, here this OH will be upside, okay, in another structure, so it will look like this. Okay, so this is alpha D glucose, name of this, and this is beta D glucose. Okay, So if you look at the structures, basically this carbonyl carbon is now turned into the alcohol OH group. Okay, so this is the carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. Okay, so the alpha D glucose and beta D glucose, they have only one difference between alpha D and glucose and beta D glucose, that the configuration around this carbon number 1 is different. In alpha the OH is downside, in beta OH is up. Okay, so these two structures, alpha D glucose and beta D glucose, are anomers. Okay, these two isomers are called the anomers, alpha and beta. So how we will get anomers? Okay, so if you look at the structure, here is the first carbon. If you get the OH group towards this oxygen, okay, that will be beta. So the OH group is away from this oxygen, that will be alpha structure. If this OH group is towards the O, that will be beta structure. Okay, so basically in terms, what it says that the OH group is towards the OH group of this last chiral center, which is the last chiral center for carbonyl carbon is this fifth one. Okay, this fifth last chiral center, it has OH group upside. So this oxygen is the OH of this last chiral center. So this OH of first carbon is away from this O, so it will be alpha. If it towards the O, it will be beta structure. And these two structures are anomers. They are called, these two isomers are called the anomers. So this is how glucose form the cyclic structure. Okay, so we will see now what happens in case of fructose. So fructose have CH2OH, okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now if you look, this is the carbonyl carbon O, attached to is CH2OH. okay, here carbon, here carbon, and it will be OH H H OH, and here this carbon will be attached with this carbon, it will have H and this OH and CH2OH. So this oxygen will give the lone pairs to this carbonyl carbon, and we will get two structures. Two structures we will get. Okay. So one will be alpha. Okay, so how it will look? So this OH will now double bond O will become OH. Okay, then OH H H OH, right, and here CH and CH2OH. okay, this is alpha D fructose. Okay, as OH is away from this oxygen. Another structure it will form, it will look like this. We'll have OH upside, CH2OH here, OH HOH H CH2OH. This is beta D fructose, right? Okay. So its OH is upside towards this oxygen, so it is beta D fructose. This OH is downside, so this is alpha D fructose. So this is how the fructose forms cyclic structure. This is D glucose, this is D fructose. Okay, this is how they form the cyclic structures. Now if you look at the structure of this glucose and fructose, they are cyclic structure. This cyclic structure is similar to the Pyron ring. So this alpha D glucose is also called as alpha D glucopyranose. How it is? This is how it is named. It is not named as alpha D glucose, it is named as alpha D glucopyranose or beta D glucopyranose. Okay, this is alpha D, and this fructose structure, it looks like a furan chain. Okay, so it is also called as alpha D fructofuranose, and this beta D will be also called as beta D fructofuranose. Okay, because their structures are similar to the furan chain. Okay, so this is how the glucose form cyclic structures and fructose form cyclic structures. Now we will see the different derivatives of the monosaccharides. Like monosaccharides can be converted into different derivatives which will be useful structures, okay, in the living system. So first derivative of glucose, if you consider glucose structure, okay, this OHH, HOH, OHH, OHH, CH2OH. This is beta D glucose. Okay, this gets converted into glucose 6 phosphate. Okay, so this oxygen will be attached to PO3 2 minus. Okay, so this is beta D glucose 6 phosphate. Phosphate is added. In the first step of glycolysis, this glucose gets converted into glucose 6 phosphate. This is how it gets converted. Okay, next there is addition of amino group on this OH group. Okay, so what it will give, this H, and in place of OH there will be NH2. Okay, amino group is added. So CH2OH. This is beta D glucosamine. The structure is glucosamine. Okay, when this amino group is replaced with acetyl group is added here. Okay, so what it will give, H, and this NH will have CO, CH3. Acetyl group is added here. So rest of the structure is as it is. OH, H, CH2, OH. This is N-acetyl glucosamine. Okay, very important structure, N-acetyl glucosamine. Again, some more modifications here. Again, in glucosamine there will be addition of lactic acid, right? Lactic acid will be added here. Okay, this H, this is NH2, right? And here this oxygen CH, CO minus and CH3 will be added. So this H, HOH, H, CH2, OH. Okay, this is the structure of muramic acid. This is the muramic acid. Okay, muramic acid. Lactic acid is added here. So when you will add acetyl group to the muramic acid, what it will be? N-acetyl muramic acid. So it will have structure like this. So NH2, so it will have now NHC double bond O CH3, like this structure, same. Okay, acetyl group is added, and over O CH, CO minus CH3, lactic acid. This is the structure of N-acetyl muramic acid. Okay, this is N-acetyl muramic acid, right? So this muramic acid and N-acetyl muramic acid, these are very important structures in bacterial cell wall. So the bacterial structures, bacterial cell wall has these two major components, muramic acid and N-acetyl muramic acid. Okay, so these are different you can say modifications that happens in simple glucose, and different structures are formed, and these structures are very important, like muramic acid and N-acetyl acid are components of bacterial cell wall. Okay, so these important modifications can happen in glucose, which gives this type of derivatives, important derivatives. So that's it for the monosaccharides. So we have studied different structures of monosaccharides, their derivatives and cyclic structures. Okay, so if you like this video, please share it with your friends, and please subscribe to my channel, and I will come with in another video. There I will discuss the disaccharides. So we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.